Welcome to Faith and Politics with me, Eileen. We are here on Tuesday, February 4th. Tuesday, February 4th. I'm really excited to be here. Faith and Politics with me, Eileen. It will be a regular Tuesday thing. I am live right now on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and I'm on my Podbean Live. Hey y'all, welcome to Faith and Politics with me, Eileen. We're going to get into some interesting New Orleans Civics 101, kind of what you didn't know that you needed. We've had a lot going on the last couple weeks, and just wanted to bring you back up to date with what I'm doing, what we have going on, and what we're going to drop. Last week, or on the 21st, I spoke about the strong mayor system. So if you did not have a chance to go check in and listen to that podcast, make sure you do it. You can listen everywhere that you podcast. You can from YouTube to Spotify, from Apple to iHeartMedia, Boomplay, Amazon Music, everywhere that you listen to podcasts, you can watch or listen to Faith and Politics. I put this together because I feel like we really lost our faith in politics. And I feel like, Faith and Politics dusts off our civics hats and empowers us with New Orleans civic information with a flair faith. Y'all know I'm a Christian. I walk my faith. And so, I believe that we kind of lost some of our morals and our values and our principles. And I think we need to get back, to some of those. We need to question the status quo, dig a little deeper, and find the truth and rebuild our faith in politics while looking through that lens of morals and values. Too many have lost their faith in politics and don't participate in our civic process, unfortunately. So what I want to do is let's educate ourselves and share viable solutions, speak truth to power, create effective change, and pray together. We the people have the power, yet somehow we forgot. And so Faith in Politics is just kind of an outreach and a group where we can support each other. So on Tuesdays, if you've signed up for the email, you would have received your first email blast today, 10 a.m. It was blasted out. So I'm very excited about that. The first blast went out. If you are not registered for it and you're watching me on a social media online right now, you can go hit the link in the links in my social bios are all to sign up for the email and the SMS text. So this is what Faith in Politics is, and this is what we're doing. So we're gonna teach each other about what's going on in the city. We want to create viable solutions together, and we want to make sure that we are comfortable in our facts and that we all have the truth. Because you can have this truth and that truth, and somewhere in the middle, I'm not Republican and I'm not Democrat. I'm independent. I do feel like there are issues on both sides, which is why I kind of stay in the middle. And I believe we have more people in the middle than anywhere else. And I feel like we've really lost our voices and forgot that we had the power, because we do have the power. In New Orleans, so many of us go to work every day, and, even our city workers, to have an EMS driver and a fireman get married, for the city of New Orleans, that's difficult these days. And that's terrible, because it's like, well, what are we doing it for? What are we working for? We're working for to have a better city, a better community. And so, I just want to encourage New Orleanians to know their facts about the city and what's going on, and so that we can rebuild our faith in politics. And hopefully this encourages residents to get more connected in the process and, vote and get their kids to vote. If you didn't know, you can go online and register to vote. If you are a Republican and want to be a Democrat, if you're a Democrat and want to become a Republican, if you're either one or you want to become an independent, you can do all of that online at sos.la.gov. If you are, I'd say, everybody has their Sunday dinners with their family, or like their Saturday get-togethers. I encourage you to encourage your family, ask everyone, are they registered to vote? And if they're not, you can do it on your phone, as long as you have your code on your ID. it'll tell you what the code is, and you'll look for it, and you have to put that code in. And once you do that, you can change all of your information. So make sure that you are registered to vote. And if you aren't registered to vote, go do it right now on sos.la.gov. They will mail you a new voter registration card and tell you where your voter location is. So if you have anything, if you need to change your address or anything like that, you can do it online at sos.la.gov. So number one, to bring back our faith in politics, we need to start participating in the process and voting. So let's start there. What we're going to talk about today are the departments, the City of New Orleans departments. We're going to jump in and talk about who is responsible for what. Like I said earlier, if you missed the first podcast, if you got the email, the link is in there to go listen to it on YouTube. But if you didn't get the email, like I said, go sign up on our social links for SMS and emails. You can do both, because let me just go through the days. On Tuesdays at 10 a.m., we're going to have the email blast. Tuesdays at 12 noon, I'm going to have Faith and Politics Live, where I'm going to give you kind of touch up on what's been going on in the news. And y'all, we're going to get to the news because there's a lot been going on in New Orleans news and politics. So stay tuned for that. And then I'm going to drop some information on that can help, just empower you to speak up or stand in your power with regard to what's going on in New Orleans. So you really understand, what does what and who does what, because if we don't know the game, how can we referee from afar? And most of us, are busy all day long. It's hard to hold our elected officials accountable. But I'll just say this: after working for the recall for 7 months, standing on the corner, and working for the City of New Orleans for 3 years, I listened to what a lot of residents were going through, and I learned a lot about what residents actually know compared to sometimes what residents think they know. And I know that may sound kind of bad, but to say I came from working out of the city's communications department for 3 years. I gave y'all the news for 3 years. So I know there are things that they don't tell you. And sometimes you have to put dots together. And I also know that they control media sources as well. And so there are a lot of times where the residents need to do their own digging because they're just not going to tell you. And so we have a lot of that going on right now where we aren't being told, in my opinion, all the information that we need to be told. And so sometimes we just need to do it ourselves. So on Wednesdays, I'm going to have brainstorming sessions where if you've gotten the email, then you'll get the information where you can, there'll be Zooms or in person. So this week it will be a Zoom at 7 p.m. tomorrow night. If you want to get the information, I go into one of my social media links and in the bio and sign up to register for the email or the SMS. You have to do those to get the link and the information. So each week, the links and the information will go out to what's going on that week. And so that's how we'll stay in touch. And on Thursdays, we will have a power hour. I am a Christian. I do walk in my faith. And so for those who are interested in praying for the City of New Orleans, we're going to have a power hour on Thursdays, 7 to 8, because as you all have seen what has been going on in our city since the beginning of the year, I think we need prayer. The Lord has been calling us all to repentance, and we need to get our mind right. We need to just pray for the people, our youth, the safety of our city. New Orleans is an international city. As we saw, we are highlighted internationally as one of those cities, and we have the port here, y'all. We affect the entire United States of America, and a lot of people don't like to think about that, but we do, and we need to get our mind right. So we need to pray for the city as well as get our own houses in order. And last but not least, we're going to have Solution Saturday. So that's why I say sign up for text messaging, because I'm going to send out SMS texts with, we could be talking about infrastructure that day, or we could be talking about youth programming, or we could be talking about permitting or small business access, or doing business with the City of New Orleans. Like, what is the best way, and what issues have you had with it? And so I'm going to be looking for solutions. So we'll send out texts and polls and emails and stuff like that, and y'all can send the information back. And what we're going to do is try to get solutions based on the information that the residents give us. So we're going to try to get some action and create some solutions to what's going on. So that's what's going on with Faith and Politics. So it's a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday type of deal. You can join as much as you want or not join as much as you want. If you are interested in like the prophecies, I am prophetic. If you are interested in my prophecies, you can also go and listen to any of the past shows. The episode right now is episode 21. So you can imagine I have episodes 1 through 20. Episode 20 was the first one, totally dedicated to New Orleans government facts, and that is the strong mayor system. So if you missed that show, go back and watch it. You can listen everywhere you podcast, iHeart, Apple, Google, Amazon Music, y'all, everywhere you podcast. So go check me out and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. So now that we've kind of gotten through all that, have y'all been paying attention to New Orleans politics? And who has been moving and who has been leaving? Because so if you have been connected and paying attention to the words that I've been giving over the past couple of years, you've known, and I said this over and over and over, we're going to have judgment, cleanse, and revival in the city of New Orleans, and that's how it's going to play out. We've already been through judgment. Now you're seeing cleanse. That's what's happening in the city of New Orleans, cleanse. And so when things like this happen, I like to give background to it so I can prove what I'm saying. So with that being said, I don't know if y'all have been paying attention the last week and a half, but Sandra Wilson. And so a lot of y'all will know me from the recall. And Sandra Wilson was or is the head of the registrar's office in the city of New Orleans. So she takes care of all the voting and procedures and makes sure that everyone, is in line with voting and things of that nature. If you recall during the recall that we had to work with her office and hand in the signatures to her. And so I would like to say this here because when the article came out that she was retiring, when I said the Lord is removing and replacing, okay, I wish her nothing but the best, and I pray that she has a wonderful retirement, but it's time for her to go and to leave that position. When they came out and said that we handed in all of these signatures, Disney and stuff like that, I was like, you have got to be kidding me. Do you think I stood on a corner for 7 months to hand in Disney signatures? So about 45 minutes after that interview, that they did with her, the press conference, the recall went out and did our own press conference. But crazy enough, is that press conference never made the news with the explanation of what happened. So during the recall process, we had two separate lawsuits going on and happening. We had one with the Secretary of State in the registrar's office, and we had one with the Times-Picayune Advocate. Yes, they sued us to get your names, never forget. But anyway, so we are in court, literally in court, and we were supposed to have those 5 extra days. Well, what we found out while we were in court is that we were not going to have the 5 extra days, that they were only giving us through that Monday at 4:30 or whatever until they closed to get in the additional signatures. And so, it paused, but long story short, they were back. And so long story short, while we're in the court, I was on the stand. And so I had already been, sworn in and things that nature. So we had volunteers go to the site where we were holding the boxes and go get everything and go bring it to the office while we stayed, because I had just been sworn in court and couldn't leave, right? So long story short, what happened is they picked up everything and brought it. We did have a no pile. If y'all a registered voter, you got the paperwork and it had the person's name. If what we did was, if you did not want to have something mailed to you, because remember we had more than one mailer, we would put it to the side and save the information and put it as a no pile. So we knew not to spend money to mail to these people. So long story short, when they brought everything, they brought a no pile. And y'all have no idea what people sent us in the mail. Y'all, people sent us shards of metal. They sent us nails. They sent us glitter. They sent us bombs. They sent us some white stuff. They sent us all kind of stuff. So I mean, like, it was just nonsense that they said all that. But I just wanted to let you know, for the people who are listening or who will listen later, what happened. And nobody at any point was handing in Disney signatures, adding that up like that was going to add up to anything. And the fact that it's just, anyway. So enjoy your retirement. Be blessed. Who else is leaving the city of New Orleans? Y'all, this administration is very interesting. Gaston Corbin is leaving Sewage and Water Board. If you don't know, Gaston Corbin is the director of Sewage and Water Board. The mayor is the head of the board, but Gaston Corbin is leaving Sewage and Water Board. So that is very interesting as well. Also, I don't know if y'all knew this, but Miss Hester, the head of Hano, left. So we also have a new head of Hano. So if anyone, I know they've had lots of problems in just a minute. Y'all, all of these situations I can go on and on and on about. I'm just trying to hit like what's in the news, because then I'm about to hit these departments, because that's about to blow your head. So Miss Hester left Hano. So we have a new head of Hano. What else was in the news is Nate Fields. That was yesterday. Nate Fields is the head of the Office of Homeless Services. And he is in the news right now for a sexual assault complaint. So there's a lot going on with the heads and directors in the mayor's office. What's going on? We don't know, but we do know that she did back out of the $20 million school board deal. And so, to be perfectly honest, I don't know the specificities of the deals. What I do know is that the school board sued the city because there was like some taxing something and the city owed them money. Long story short, the school board fell into a situation when they didn't set up their stuff correctly and with their taxes and things like that. And they just got rid of their head of schools due to that. Y'all remember that? They have like a $34 million, I think, a shortage, which is something ridiculous. So in an effort to, cut the shortage, the school board, who has ties to the city council because they worked with them or actually used to work for them, were like, hey, the city owes us A, B, and C. Would y'all do a deal for $20 million? So this would help us. And then it would end the suit that we have for a city. Win-win, right? So long story short, the council, the New Orleans School Board, and the CAO, who is appointed by the mayor, all work together to form this agreement. But the mayor didn't sign her name on it and agree to it. That's what she's saying now in February. But the first payment was due at the end of the year. So all of this to say is we shouldn't be knowing anything about this. Like, this is something that they should have handled behind doors and taken care of for the children and the residents of New Orleans. And this is just a hot mess. Mayor Cantrell, we should have never been involved in this. You should have taken care of the youth, found a deal. If you didn't agree with this deal, I think you should have been having this conversation before today, right? So all of that. Like I said, I'm giving y'all information. You can do with it what you will. I'm not here or there. This is the information. And the last three things that were in the news that I really wanted to kind of just touch and hit was PJ's Coffee on Maple is closing, y'all. Maple Street in all Uptown has been hit with the construction of the century. I'm not kidding, because it's been like years. And I mean like years of construction, to the point where they're now closing. And, PJ's has been such a staple in New Orleans forever. I think they were started in 1978. Y'all, I was born in 78. So that's how long. But anyway, they're closing due to the construction and the lack of coordination. And so I'm kind of going through all of these so you will see who's in charge of what, and that's what you need to know. And so last but not least, these are two that I just really wanted to talk about. The Saints, Pelicans, and the Archdiocese. All I got to say is everybody's getting their issue. All the leaders that the Lord has put to, lead his sheep. If they aren't doing it properly, they get in an issue. And I'm going to leave it like that. That's between them and the Lord. And last but not least, with regard to the news and what's going on, the staff editorial, y'all, at the Advocate, Times Picayune, whichever one you'd like to call it today, they wrote, and I was kind of surprised by this, to be perfectly honest, because like I said, the newspaper actually sued us to give the names of the recall signers, which we didn't do, which is why we had to go to court. And I'm like, why would the newspaper sue us? But anyway, the staff editorial from the leaders of the newspaper, they said the silence from the leaders about the New Year's attack is indefensible. Indefensible. And I 100% agree. The city council had that the meeting where the chief of police said, I'll answer questions, but I'm just not answering them today. Well, why not? And well, we know why not. And then the head of Homeland Security wasn't there. And then I believe it was Oliver Thomas, who was heading the committee, said he was supposed to be there, and he said he wasn't supposed to be there. So did the head of the committee even handle the committee meeting correctly? I don't know, y'all. But let's just say it's a whole lot of we don't know, and there needs to be questions answered, and nobody's answering the questions. So, a question I am going to answer for you? The form of government the city of New Orleans has, and did y'all know we have a Bill of Rights? If you didn't, I'm going to read that too. And then I'm going to get into the departments and who is responsible for all of them. And just to give you a heads up, guess who's responsible for all of the departments? The mayor. That was an easy answer. But if you don't know what departments she's responsible for, it may be like, because you don't know where to direct your either complaint, concern, solution, or just your 2 cents. And so that's why I wanted to really give y'all this information, because if we are empowered with the information, how much stronger we can be. And what if you go share it with one person and then they share with one person? What a stronger New Orleans we could be. And so if you've never pulled up the city charter, New Orleans is a city charter. In section 102, it tells you the form of government. The government provided by the charter shall be known as the mayor-council form of government. The mayor shall be aided by a chief administrative officer who, in the performance of the duties of office, shall be responsible to the mayor. So the mayor and the CAO, that's who run the city. If you did not know, now you know. That's who run the city. And did y'all know that New Orleans has a Bill of Rights? I just thought it was interesting because I'm going to read the New Orleans Bill of Rights to you. And some of these things we aren't getting. So I think you should know that we aren't getting. So the New Orleans Bill of Rights is Section 202 Bill of Rights. All persons are born free and equal in dignity and rights. They are endowed with reason and conscience and should act toward one another with respect. Y'all, do we do that? All government of right originates with the people, is founded on their will along and is instituted to protect the rights of the individual and to provide for the general welfare of the people. So y'all, all government of right originates with the people, is founded on their will. Is our will being done in New Orleans? Just asking, because that's what the Bill of Rights says. The people have the right to a government responsive to their will and the right to take part in the government of the city, either directly or through freely chosen representatives. The people have the right to lawful and peaceful assembly, to petition the government for redress of grievance, and to equal access to public services. Well, I don't feel like we're getting all that. Just saying. Okay. The people have the right to life, liberty, and security of person, the right to live free from fear or violence, and the right to safe neighborhoods conducive to the enjoyment of liberty. Is this happening right now, y'all? No law shall deprive any person of any rights, privileges, or immunity secured by the Constitution and law of the United States or the state of Louisiana, nor shall any law discriminate against any person because of race, color, religion, or national origin. No law shall arbitrarily and capriciously or unreasonably discriminate against a person because of birth, disability, sex, sexual orientation, gender identification, culture, language, social origin, or political affiliations. The people have the right to freedom of opinion and expression. No law shall restrain freedom of speech or freedom of the press. The people have the right to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion. No law shall be enacted respecting an establishment of religion. Well, that was interesting because they kind of didn't. They retaliated us during the recall. So the people have the right to a government of the highest ethical standards. What? Free from corruption. What? Untainted by graft and conducted in accordance with sound fiscal planning and administration. Y'all, this is the Bill of Rights for New Orleans. We're supposed to be getting these things. The natural resources of the city and the healthful, scenic, historic, and aesthetic quality of the municipal government shall be protected, conserved, and replenished insofar as possible consistent with the health, safety, and welfare of the people. The people have the right to live in economic prosperity. Are we living in economic prosperity? And to receive fair living wages for their labor. Equal pay, comprehensive health care coverage, and paid leave for the purposes of medical, family, bereavement, and vacation time. The people have a right to a safe workplace and complies with all the federal, state, and local workplaces laws and regulations, including wage and hour laws, as well as the right to organize and to associate freely in pursuit of workplace and economic justice. This Bill of Rights shall not create any enforceable rights, duties, obligations, or causes of action under this charter beyond those guaranteed by the Constitution of the United States or the constitutions of the state of Louisiana. Okay, y'all. So what I just broke down was the Bill of Rights of the City of New Orleans, basically saying that you have the right to have a government that is not corrupt. Imagine that. And so I don't know if you all have been feeling like we've gotten that. And so at the beginning of this, I started reading a lot of the people who are leaving the city of New Orleans. And that was just in the last 2 weeks or the last 2 or 3 weeks. If we start going back on that, you're going to start realizing, dang, a lot of people are really leaving. What is going on in New Orleans? Well, New Orleans, like I said a couple minutes ago, has a strong mayor system of government. And that means the mayor is over the executive branch, and the legislative branch, which is the city council, the power isn't as balanced as you think. Whereas you see on the federal level, they have the legislative, the executive branch, and the judicial, and they balance each other. Well, in a strong mayor system of government, they're not balanced like that. The mayor has more power, and I'm not talking about the person. I'm talking about the office. So we're talking about the office of the mayor and what the office of the mayor is responsible for. So in Section 4, 102, organization, the executive branch, and this is all from the city charter, y'all. You can go online. Everybody should read it. The executive branch shall consist of the office of the mayor, of which the mayor shall be the head, the administrative office, of which the chief administrative officer shall be the head. The department heads, the unattached boards in Article 5 of this charter, and the following departments and boards, all of which are hereby created and established or continued and recognized. Okay, y'all. So here is the clincher. I know it took me a minute to get here, but I'm going to read them quickly, and then I'm going to kind of go through all of them, because this is what you need to understand. The office of the mayor is over all of these departments. Not one, not two, not three. All of these departments. So the mayor of the city of New Orleans is over the Department of Law, Department of Police, Department of Fire, Department of Safety and Permits, Department of Sanitation, Department of Public Works, Department of Recreation, Department of Human Services, Department of Health, Department of Finance, Department of Property Management, Department of City Civil Service, Department of Utilities, Department of Parks and Parkways. Also over the boards and commissions in some form or fashion. Department of Civil Service Commission, the board, attached departments of commissions to the Board of Safety and Permits, Board of Building Standards and Appeals, to the City Planning Commission. Board of Zoning Adjustments to the Department of Property Management, Delgado Albania Plantation Commission, to the Department of Finance, Board of Trustees of the Municipal Employees Retirement System, Board of Trustees of the Police Pension Fund, Board of Trustees of the Firemen's Pension and Relief Fund. The foregoing board shall be attached to, but shall not be a part of the departments or commissions as indicated, and the head of each department shall be an ex officio member of the boards attached hereto to the extent permitted by law and except as otherwise provided herein. The responsibilities of the department with respect to such boards shall be limited to the general oversight of their operations for the purpose of providing information hereon to the mayor, chief administrative officer, and the council. So, boards of the City Trust, Central Business District, Central Business District, Historic District Landmarks Commission, Historic Landmarks Commission, and Mosquito Control Board. So let me go through a couple more of these for you. So all of this, the mayor is over, or she places people on these commissions and boards. So y'all heard all the departments. Now we're going to the Board of Liquidation, which is like your city debt, Public Belt Railroad Commission, Sewage and Water Board, said that before, City Planning Commission, Public Library Board, New Orleans Aviation Board, Airport, Vieux Commission, French Quarter, Audubon Commission, New Orleans Alcoholic Beverage Control Board, New Orleans Recreation Development Commission, NORD, and the Human Rights Commission. So did you hear all of that? That's everything the mayor is over or has her hands in. With the boards and commissions, it's a little bit more where she's placing people on those boards and commissions, but some of those boards and commissions, she's actually sits as the president. Let's say the New Orleans Aviation Board, she would place people on those, the Vieux Commission, whereas the Sewage and Water Board, she actually sits as the head on Sewage and Water Board. The City Planning Commission, she sits on the City Planning Commission. So, yeah. So what were you talking about with regard to what's going on in New Orleans? Let's go back to this, because so many people are like, let that lady live. What's going on? Well, I say what's going on with safety and permits. We have a lot of our buildings falling down, and let me be clear, you cannot stop every building from falling down, but you can fund the department and make sure that they have the correct amount of inspectors to take care of the amount of properties that we have in the city of New Orleans. You can make sure that we have enough people in public works, let's just say that. But now, actually, this is being moved under Sewage and Water Board now. So this will be interesting. But the cleaning of the drains for our catch basins, that was under public works. So making sure that they are, staffed enough that our 70,000 I believe it's 74,000 catch basins in the city of New Orleans can be maintained. How about that the lights all across the New Orleans stay on? These are responsibilities of the mayor. Department of Utilities, Department of Parks and Parkways, Department of Property Management, all the blighted city buildings that you see around the city. Remember that what was it? It was supposed to be their training center by Delgado. Whatever happened, and I don't even want to talk about it anymore because I was there when they did that ribbon cutting. Y'all, think about how long ago that is. Okay, let's go back to that. Department of Finance, your property taxes, your fees, your things like that. The mayor is over that. The Department of Health, with making sure our moms are getting good information, making sure if there are any. Well, right now you'd have freeze warnings, and you'd have the health department as well as Homeland Security. I'm kind of working together on that, but the mayor is over Homeland Security. The mayor is over the health department. The mayor is over public works. Like I said, sanitation, the trash. The mayor is over the trash. Let me say that again. The mayor is over the trash. How many trash problems has the city of New Orleans had since Ida? Because remember, before Ida, we had 2-day-a-week trash pickup. And remember, we now have one. But who decided that? Do y'all know who decided that? The mayor by herself decided that the entire city of New Orleans was going to have one trash pickup. Yeah. Okay. Did we have a vote? No, we didn't. But just letting you know who's responsible for it. Safety and permits. I actually knew the gentleman who was over that before, and it's kind of sad to see the situation that happened with that. Department of Fire, of course, our firefighters, our police department, our EMS, our Homeland Security, our y'all, I can go on and on. Our Department of Police and Department of Law. Now, these are our departments. These do not include all of the offices that are underneath the mayor's office, which are separate. Like you have the mayor's office of neighborhood engagement. Are you being neighborhood engaged? You have, and of course, the libraries. I didn't say that, but of course, the libraries. The mayor is over the library system. Let's see. What else? The mayor's office. Let's see, whatever. The mayor's office of neighborhood engagement. They have the mayor's office of youth and family services. What's up with the mayor's office of youth and family services? I know in 2018 they received $41 million. Where it went, I have no idea. I'm just getting you up to date on certain things you can start go picking and looking at. Let's see. The mayor's office. They've the mayor's, let's see. I don't know. Hopefully that gave you an idea, because I can go on here on and on, but I don't want to go forever. But I just wanted to give you an idea and a real understanding of who is over all of the departments. And so it's important to understand that, because each office, the mayor's office as well as the city council, have engagement specialists for the community that are that answer the phone, or not answer the phone, but as someone, they may answer the phone, but as someone that it's connected to get your problems solved in the community. So this is where it comes. It's very important to know as to who runs which department and who is actually friends with who and who's beefing at what time. Let me tell you why. Because when everybody says, if you're having a problem, go to your city, go to your council, your council member, go to your council member, right? Okay, everybody goes to their council member. So when you go to your council member, let's say you're having a problem with parks and parkways, and you go to your council person, let's say you're in council district E, and you go to your council member and you say, hey, I'm having issues with this park, A, B, and C. Well, that council member is going to go to the director of parks and parkways. Now, who is the boss of the director of parks and parkways? The mayor. Then we just go through the list of departments. The mayor is the boss for that department. Okay, but what if the person, the council member and the mayor aren't getting along, and the mayor doesn't want to help the council member? Do you think a lot of stuff is going to get done in that district or not? I'm just saying, because that's a lot of what you're seeing going on in the city of New Orleans, or not, because there has been some disagreements with our mayor and our council. Long story short, and I said this a long time ago, some people may like it, some people don't, but I just give you the information, you can deal with it. Do y'all remember in 2020 when a lot of people were quiet quitting? Well, that's what happened with our mayor. She quiet quit in 2020 and she was tired. I 100% get it. Do y'all remember when Keisha Lance Bottoms left Atlanta after 4 years? Personally, after seeing everything that they all went through, because I was working for the mayor in the first term, she was tired. I don't believe she had it in her to do a second term. Keisha Lance Bottoms, however you say her name, I'm sorry, left and went and did something else. That was COVID, and we had the Hard Rock, and we had the cyber attack. Y'all, we had the the parades, the floats, 2 floats, ending people's lives in the city of New Orleans. It was just not, it was a lot for those years. And so then you had the whole COVID thing, and then you had the election, and it was just of the presidential election 2020 during that time. So it was just a lot at one time. And personally, she quiet quit. And so everybody who's like, let that lady live. Well, you know what? She did, and she was living. And so there's a lot of things in the city of New Orleans that have gone undone. And when now that you understand that we have a strong mayor system, if the mayor is not handling that position, no one else can do it. There's literally not another person in the city of New Orleans that can step into that role. The city council only has so much authority. So, and they run the budget. They can, they carry the purse strings, but they don't run the departments. They can go complain to the department for you, or they can, try to put a fire under them to light them. But the real way to get movement in the city of New Orleans, and y'all are going to love this, it's not going to sit in council chambers. It's going to sit on the second floor in the lobby and having a sit-in in the mayor's area. That's what's going to change something. So if you really have a major issue with, I don't know, pick a department, and the mayor leads that department, going sit in front of city council, the city council is going to take your concerns and they're going to go to the department, and the department is going to the mayor. So if you want to go straight to the point, you would take your concerns to the mayor, because as we said in this, the mayor, the office of the mayor is over all of these departments. And so that's what today was really about. We really just wanted to kind of break down who is responsible for what, because so many people are being misdirected in the city of New Orleans. And people really think they understand or doing, I'm going in council chambers and I'm going fuss and I'm going to do this. Yes, the council can light a fire. Yes, the council can do so many things, but you need to know what's in their lane. The city council is going to get you funding for something. The city council handles your utilities, energy, and things like that. They're going to make sure the insurance, they're going to be handling those things. They're handling the budget. They're actually, they have veto power now to take out directors. They didn't have that before, but we voted on it because the mayor wasn't doing such a good job. The residents said, hey, we don't like that you can choose the directors by yourself, because you're not doing such a great job. And some of these directors aren't doing a great job for us. So in this 8-year span, the council has started to say, hey, we don't have this authority, but residents, if you give us this authority, then we will do a little oversight for you. And so that's what happened. They put it on the ballot. The residents gave them oversight. And so now the council has more oversight over a lot of these departments, whereas they did not have that before. And so that is balancing a little bit, taking away some of the power of the strong mayor system. So if you aren't familiar with what a strong mayor system is, and you kind of want some New Orleans tea, I don't know if I should say it that way, but it is what it is. Make sure you go tap into my last episode. It was about 45 minutes. You can, while you're driving, while you're eating lunch or whatever else, trust me, you want to listen to it. Probably said too much in there, but it is what it is, and I don't care. I'm just going to say it because that's just what it is. That's just where I am now, and I'm just over people being lied to. And I'm not here to sway your opinion. I'm here to give you the information, and you can decide what you want to do for yourself. But hopefully it encourages you to get a little bit more involved civically in the process, because that's what faith in politics is all about. I did this because I feel like people lost their faith in politics. And so hopefully getting some of this information will encourage you to, share some information, as well as get a little bit more civically involved, because I feel like when we all step up and speak up in our spheres of influence, what a stronger New Orleans we can have together, because this isn't about one person. This is about the city. And, we need to get back to loving our neighbor. I remember when New Orleans was a family of neighborhoods. I'm 46. I grew up in the 80s, and we were a family of neighborhoods. We had to wait. I'm of that generation where you had to wait 2 weeks and to drop off the film at Fox Photo on Claiborne Avenue, y'all, right there across from Tulane, y'all wouldn't know, it was a little drive through. Anyway, I'm that old. And so, I'm of that generation where, we had the CYO parties, and it was like the cool thing to do on the weekends where the kids would go to the CYO parties. And so I just think we should need to bring some of that neighborhood love back. That's what New Orleans is all about. That's what people come here from across the world to encounter. They say our culture, but it's how we love each other. Honestly, that's what I believe. And I think we need to get back to loving each other and holding each other accountable, because I don't really think you love someone or care about them when you don't hold them accountable. And I don't believe we've really been loving the city the way that we should have, because if we love New Orleans like we say we do, we would take better care of it, and we would require our leaders to take better care of it, because isn't that why we elect them? We elect them because we're busy at work and everything. We want you to take care of the city while we're doing that. And so if we are being bombarded with all of these articles, all of these people leaving, y'all, I just named like 3-4 people, and that was in the last 2 or 3 weeks. Like, what is going on in the city of New Orleans? The cleanse. That's what's going on. The cleanse is going on. We're probably going to be getting more information than we ever thought. And especially, like I read at the beginning, with the New Year's Eve tragedy, oh my gosh. Just the silence on it from our elected leaders is really, it's shameful at this point. And so with all of that being said, hopefully we can instill or kind of pour back into our faith in politics and bring it back all around. So with that being said, I'm about to close. But before I do, I want to encourage you to make sure you are registered to vote. If you are not, you can go online at sos.la.gov and make sure you register to vote. I encourage you to get your family and friends. You text them. Y'all go to the website, sos.la.gov, and say, did y'all know that you can register to vote online? All you need is your ID. It needs to be up to date. You can change your address. You can change your information, your anything like that needs to be corrected. You can go on there and do that. They will send you a new voter registration card, so you'll have a brand new card. It'll tell you what your ward and precinct is and the address and where you need to go and everything like that. You can get one for everyone in the family, everyone that updates it. So make sure you go there and do that. Oh, hey girl, how you doing? Thank you so much. I just really wanted to empower people and give them the information. Growing up in politics in New Orleans, there is, I kind of did take it for granted, because there's certain things that I just knew because I was around certain people. And I believe if you think the meeting starts at 6:15, but the meeting actually starts at 6:00, you're already late. And I'm just going to be very honest. Residents of the city of New Orleans think the meeting starts at 7:45 and the meeting started at 6. And that's real talk. They have kept a lot of information from us, and it's time that we just get it back, and we just have to do it ourselves. And so they aren't going to help us, so we're going to do it ourselves. So I encourage everybody to sign up for Faith in Politics, no matter where you're watching me. In our social links, you can go on right now and click sign up. You can sign up for email and sign up for SMS. Again, on Tuesdays at 10 a.m., you will receive an email blast. It'll give you instructions of kind of what's going on the week, and for each day, it'll give you the breakdown of what we're talking about for the week. This week, we're talking about the departments and which departments are led by the mayor. All of them, and commissions board. I kind of went through all of them, so you have to scroll back and listen if you want to get all of them, but make sure you do that. And if you missed the first podcast, which is the Strong Mayor System, and what is that and why does it affect the city of New Orleans, go listen to that too. So now you have 2 to listen to. And if you're interested in the prophecy and more of my Christian walk, I do have those as well. Like I said, you can listen to me everywhere that you podcast. I'm really excited about it. We're growing. We have a little bit over I believe it was like 1,500 people that listened to our last podcast. So we're growing, y'all. And hopefully you will share this as well. So share. Thank you so much for tuning in to Faith in Politics with me, Eileen. And I will see y'all next week. And don't forget to stay, y'all, just stay connected. It's just really important in this time that we stay connected and that we really support each other, and take care of each other and your families, because that's what's so important. That's the fun, the basis of it all, our families. All right, y'all. Peace out.